Next, I would like to talk about is the Wolverine 3 announcement. They are beginning production, and the producer for it confirms that they are going for an R rating in the film. Um, oh, this is going to start playing. Good. All right. So, yeah, they're shooting for an R rating on the next Wolverine, and this is Wolverine 3, um, which the first one, they're actually counting X-Men Origins Wolverine as the first one, then just the last one, which was the Wolverine, came out a couple years ago, and so here's the third one. Um, they've all been PG-13 up to this point. They're going for R, and let's see what the producer had to say. It takes place in the future, and as you and others have reported, it is an R-rated movie. It's violent. It's kind of like a western in its tone. It's just a very cool, different film. Um, so with this, I can't help but think that this was done because Deadpool was such a success. The I guess the I guess uneasiness of the film industry to take a comic book character, comic book intellectual property, and take that and do an R-rated version of the game. Um, those are going to be hard to appeal to a mass market. They're not going to be family friendly. You're just going to get mostly adults to come in, and then they're not going to want to come in because why? It's a comic book movie. They want something more mature than that, or so we've thought. That's what conventional wisdom has told us. But with the way Deadpool came out, apparently there's a lot of fans of the characters. They came out, they supported the movie, and it did gangbusters. Super successful. So I guess my question is, does an R rating fit a Wolverine film? Um, what are your thoughts on that?
I think if you're looking at the comic books, yes, because I haven't read very many Wolverine comics, but just looking at some of the cells and the different art styles, just to get different references from, they're they're bloody. Like they may not be as gory and as bloody as Deadpool. And actually now that I think about it, they might just be even more because Deadpool, he's a sociopath and he's also a psychopath. So there's definitely going to be some gore in his comics, and of course there's going to be gore in his movie. Wolverine just gets so angry so easily, and it's not hard to tick him off. So I mean, through the past years, they've done a good job making him PG-13 and making it to where he's not super gory, and it's just the right level of violence for like kids, say like 10 and up, and also adults to also enjoy the movies. I think that an R-rated Wolverine movie would actually be really cool. Um, Having seen Deadpool, there are things in that movie that I definitely liked because it was an R-rated movie. There are some things that I think could definitely be without in that movie, but I can understand based off the comic book hero or anti-hero why they were there. I feel like with Wolverine, you wouldn't have a lot of the things that parents complained about in that movie because honestly, kids nowadays they've already seen a whole bunch of gore in movies. Like movies nowadays don't censor a lot of gore and a lot of violence, and especially video games. And I know that some woman's 11-year-old son has definitely played M-rated games before and has definitely seen things that they probably shouldn't see. So seeing some comic book violence in a movie although it might look very realistic, they'll just see it as similar to a video game that they played, or if they read the comics, it'll just be like like taking the comic book and putting it into real life like a movie normally is. I think that an R-rated Wolverine movie would actually be a lot better.
And um, I agree, but conditionally agree with you. The only thing I think that they need to be concerned with, as far as comic book characters and stuff like that, like okay, with Wolverine, case in point, if you want to go for an R rating due to the violence that's in it, that's fine. I mean, part of what made Deadpool rated R wasn't just violence and language. It was also some nudity in it. So with a Wolverine film, I mean, you can get around that. You can shoot scenes so that you're not, even if you have a character being naked, they don't that all can be implied. You can still go for an R-rated movie, and bring your kids that are used to it, or they don't, they've been desensitized to violence, if you want. But other things, exposing them to sexual content, that's something that I think they still need to consider
Yeah.
when they're making these. Now, the best rating category for most superhero movies, I still think is PG-13. You can pull in huge crowds with that. I just hope that the Deadpool success doesn't all of a sudden make this trend now where it's like, oh, well, you're making a comic book. Let's take a look at the source material. Yeah, that can go R rating. Let's go R rating because we're going to be just as successful as Deadpool. And that's how movie executives will think. They just see, well, that was successful. Let's copy that formula, and we're magically going to get the same. We're going to get the same numbers. And it's not going to happen that way. But unfortunately, that's where their brains go. They get dollar signs in their eyes.
Yeah.